Hey, guess what? Today we are going to talk about why I am moving out of the Bay Area. Let's go! All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Seibo Shen with Seibo Knows, and what are we doing here today? Well, if anyone have been following me on Facebook, well, you may have noticed that I am now moving to a new area. So, you know what? I grew up in the Bay Area. It's going to be tough to leave, but it is time. You know, my wife and I, we realized that our time up in the Bay is done, and now it is time for us to go on the next adventure of our lives. So for those of you that are interested or have any questions about where we're moving to, we're actually moving up to the Sacramento area. Why are we moving up to Sacramento? Well, I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have about that. So if you have any questions, you know, please feel free to just list them out, or, you know, I actually put a little link. I put a little link in the description. So if you want to join me, if you want to talk about it, then yeah, please. So Adam wrote, hold up. Adam wrote, what did Adam write here? Adam asked, did I sell Vape Exhale? Well, actually, so Adam, just so you know, I am no longer running Vape Exhale anymore. I have not been running Vape Exhale for about since February of this year. So I didn't sell Vape Exhale. We have a new CEO. His name is Ricardo. He's actually does a much better job than myself when it came to running the company. So he is the man now. Ricardo is the man. And Adam, if you want to join me on this broadcast, you know, I would love that. So, you know, what I'm actually going to do is I came on here because I was about to go do some meditating, figure out, you know, what's next for me in this world. And also, what do I want to do next? So yeah, for the 7 people watching, yeah, I don't know if any of you guys are looking to move out of the Bay Area. I'm looking to go into the Sacramento area. So if any of you are interested in learning more about that market, I'd be happy to tell you. So some of the reasons, why am I moving out of the Bay Area? Well, as you can imagine, you know, with COVID and everything, a lot of people are working from home now. And because they are working from home, we are no longer required to be living in the same areas that we always lived in, you know, prior to this. You know, so I am very much taking advantage of the fact that my wife no longer needs to work and live in the Bay Area. And, you know, I mean, my wife and I, we're not wealthy. We do okay. You know, I've saved my money. She's saved her money. But, you know, we very much imagined, you know, if we ever made as much money as we make right now, that, you know, we wouldn't be living in a 1,200 square foot townhome. And by the way, my cannabis is ready. So let's go ahead and take a big rip. Let's take a big rip first, all right? And just real quick, is the voice to music ratio okay? Is it easy to hear me? If you could let me know, that would definitely help. And let me finish this rip and I'll go back to what I was talking about here. All right. Excuse me. All right. Did You offer or too soon? All right, all right. Well, we are right now actually getting qualified for our loan, so we're gonna put in our offer very soon. But yeah, just more reasons of why we decided to leave the Bay Area was number one, like I wanted to make sure that my children were able to grow up in an area just a little bit closer to nature. Like I grew up in San Francisco. I did not really enjoy nature when I was younger. Whenever my parents would take me camping and stuff, I just couldn't wait to get back to playing my Nintendo, get back to like all the comforts that I had in the Bay Area. But my kids love nature. And luckily for me, I've been learning to have a better relationship with nature. And what do I mean by learning to have a better relationship? Well, as I mentioned, when I was younger, that I didn't really enjoy it. But now I find myself so much more refreshed, so much more replenished when I go out in nature. It could just be on a hike, it could be going to the beach, it could be going like, I actually think snowboarding to me, like snowboarding was fun, but what I really liked was sitting on the mountain, looking over the lake and seeing all the beautiful views there. All the beautiful views and just being one with the earth. And that's one thing that I want for my children. The other thing is I've met students that are in middle school and high school now, and I've seen how much pressure they put themselves in order to compete with a lot of the people in the Bay Area. And I think everyone believes competition is good. I believe competition is good. I just don't want my kids competing at such an early age. I want them to be children. I want them to be present. I don't want them worrying about their SAT scores. I don't want them worrying about what college they're going to be going to. I don't want them worrying about what they're going to be doing for the rest of their life. The only thing I want them doing is enjoying themselves, getting to know themselves better, getting a better understanding of how to utilize their human body and their human mind so that they can navigate the world and not worry about how they're going to do the best in the world right away. There's going to be plenty of time for my children to be able to do that. But right now I want them to be kids. And I believe that, this is just my thoughts, so parents that live in the peninsula, I'm not pointing fingers or anything. It's just that my belief is I want my children to grow up in an area that has less competition, that has less emphasis on goals and achievements, because like I'm confident that they can hit any goal or achievement that they want. Like most of my friends have hit all of their goals. Like we've all gone to college, we've all gotten jobs. Like, are we all working our dream jobs? Maybe, maybe not, but all of us can contribute to society. But I don't see a lot of joy. I don't see a lot of gratitude. I don't see a lot of these other things that I believe can make a difference in your life, regardless of how much you make, regardless of how much you achieve. So I want my children to be able to become humans first before they start competing with other humans, if that makes any sense. So that's one of the big reasons why I'm moving out there. It's just to put them in a better environment so that they can enjoy and grow and just have a human existence. And another other reason, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to type them in the chat, or if you want to come on and chat with me, there's a link right there, the eCam link. You could just press that link and I'd be happy to chat with you. But I'm happy to just keep jibber jabbering here by myself. All right, so what are some other reasons? Well, another reason is I no longer run Vape Exhale. I don't have to be on a plane once or twice a week anymore. Like that is a gift for me. And what I wanted to do was really push myself to the edges. I always like to learn about myself. I don't want to be complacent. And I thought, okay, if I start another company, even if this company does better than the previous company, well, what am I really experiencing? What am I learning? And what I believe is I'm not learning much. I'm just having a slightly different experience of an experience that I already had. So by moving out to Auburn, by moving to that area, I believe that I'll be able to just have a completely different experience of life, one where I will be able to learn more deeply about myself. And at least for this stage of my life, it's no longer about achievements or goals. It's about being able to live life in a much more engaged way, being present the majority of the time, not just being present when I'm being mindful or when I'm meditating, but being present all the time. And as a CEO, what I could tell you is it's tough to be present as a CEO because you're constantly thinking about your companies, you're constantly thinking about the past performance, you're constantly thinking about future things that you need to do, and unfortunately that takes you out of the moment. It takes you out of the moment. It takes you out of being present. And I believe that you could really access your highest self when you are present. If you've read enough autobiographies of people that have changed and shifted the paradigm of this world, you know, like the ideas came to them like when they were walking their dogs or taking a shower. You know, it wasn't when they were focused and in their heads and thinking and just trying to come up with the biggest ideas. So, you know, being able to be in a location where I get to be present a lot more is definitely something that I believe, you know, is worth moving and having a different experience and then just seeing what happened. You know, so those are the main reasons why I decided to move. You know, there's the kids, and then also with Yen. You know, Yen loves cooking. Yen wants to grow more of our food that we eat, and I want to help her. You know, and I really think that shifting our focus from goals and achievements to living more, you know, is a nice transition at this age of my life. You know, I'm 44 years old right now. I do believe if I had to grind and be a CEO again, I could. But is that the best thing for me? I definitely do not think that is the best thing for me. I think the best thing for me right now is to take everything that I learned from being an entrepreneur and then passing those lessons forward. You know, so I do believe that for many people, or for everyone, you know, like, just like there's rites of passages for life, you know, like I do think that, of course, you could get into this frame of mind that I'm in right now and go move out to a more rural area. But if you have high ambitions and goals of like making it in tech or finance or biotech or any of these other industries, then I do believe, yeah, go out to a big city and live out those dreams. See how it fits you. But ultimately, you know, like if you hit your achievements and you feel unfulfilled like I did, then I think doing the same thing over and over, as they say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different. So started one company, two companies, then did a JV, started a third, and, you know, really, I mean, I loved it. You know, it taught me a lot of skills, but at some point I habituated and realized, okay, hey, I'm playing the same game. You know, it's like every day it's another business problem to solve, which, you know, at some point I just realized it's same shit, different day, just slightly different problems. So now what I'm really focused on is making sure that I have more different variety of experiences so that I could have a broader view of life. So Howie asks, let me see, does being in the moment make you more or less conscious of local global events outside of your family and life? Well, I think that if you are being in the moment as much as possible, that doesn't prevent you from reading the newspaper. But I do have opinions about local versus global events because, well, hey, you know, there's 7 billion people on the planet. There's always good shit happening and there's always bad stuff happening. So the way I look at it is, especially with like local events, local politics, I absolutely feel like my participation and my efforts do make a difference. On the global level, I definitely do not feel like I make as much of an impact and difference. And so part of the way I live right now, Howie, is like, okay, so being aware of global events allows you to be a better conversator. But if you're not doing anything about these global calamities, I argue that knowing about them is absolutely useless. You know, it's like learning a lot about chemistry and never doing chemistry, or learning a lot about golf and never playing golf. It's like, well, why did you learn that? So I really believe like global politics is the same, which is like, if you're deep into global politics, then do something with that knowledge. Otherwise, it's just mental masturbation. Any knowledge that you accumulate and you don't do something with it, to me, is a waste of that knowledge. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential power. And that's why I'm very active in all the different things that I do. You know, not to like make this a Seibo show, but I guess it is a Seibo no show. But yeah, like when I say something, like I'm going to do something, I just go do it because I think it's so important to go from intellectually knowing something to embodying that principle. And then once you embody it, then you know. You know, and so like for me, I don't like to be ignorant of things, but you know, like when I would read about what's going on in the Middle East, Australia, Asia, all these different places, and I wasn't doing anything about it, it was like, well, okay, I have all this knowledge and where is it going to? Who is that helping? So now for me, it's all about experiential knowledge and then passing it forward. Experiential knowledge and passing it forward. To me, experience is the best teacher. Getting a coach like myself is great. But then if you never do any of the things that I say, then I'm like that coaching doesn't help. So to me, living life and experiencing life that way is always the best way to teach yourself. When you learn through experience, you just have like a deeper understanding and overall holistic view of like that skill set or that experience. So that is really important to me. And ultimately, like I said, I don't want to just keep rambling about global politics, but I do believe that like if something is important enough for you to keep reading about it, you need to take action. Whether it's recycling, environmental, global warming, like take action. Take action. Otherwise, you're stressing yourself out by not taking action and reading about that stuff. So the things that are important to me, I absolutely start being active in those things. Like in my community, be active in all the rallies and things of that nature that we have around town. Help them plan, help them organize, or show up, And to me, that's the difference between being an intellectual and someone that makes a difference in the world. The intellectual just likes to learn about a lot of different things. And, Yen and I have talked about like more rural living, more homesteading type life for such a very long time. And now we realize, hey, because of COVID, we have the opportunity to go move, to live in a different place, to experience life in a different way, and to allow our children to have a little bit more freedom when they're growing up. Those are all the reasons why I think, or why we are moving, not why I think we're moving. And, like this only came up. Like literally my friend CK visited me on June 14th, told me about this commune that was being built in Happy Valley. And, I told him I wanted to invest in some property up there potentially. And then we started looking around in the area and these homes popped up in Rockland. And all of a sudden we went up this Saturday. We liked it. We went back up yesterday and we continue to like what we see. And then now we're going to make an offer, and I mean, having less than 3 weeks to think about this, in many ways, it's both scary and exciting, but this is kind of what I'm talking about, which is like, I'm beyond what I like to call this. I'm beyond like this phase of my life where I'm continually trying to intellectually understand every single thing that happens in my life. And then to make like these long-term plans that will net me the best results. Because what I realize is humans are horrible at predicting the future, but one of the things that you could do right now for sure is do more of the things that make you happy and be disciplined in doing less of the things that don't make you happy. And to me, that's the formula of life. Do more of the things that make you happy and be disciplined enough to not do the things that you don't want to do. And you'd be surprised at how much better your life gets. Like I know a lot of people listening to this will automatically say, well, hey, I've got these types of responsibilities. I got to do them. I got to do that. I have no choice. Well, of course, I got responsibilities too that I have to do. I'm talking outside of that, the other parts of how you live your life, and for me, realizing that there's a location that I can move into with my family, give them a much higher quality of life. And I don't think like Yen and I are compromising our own professional goals, by moving to a smaller town with less opportunity for our children. It's just that we're in this phase of our life where we want to do more living and less planning and less optimizing, just living and enjoying. And that's actually what COVID has taught me the most of. Is that I could have a really fucking good time just being at home with my family all the time. And my family loved it too. So that is the next chapter of where we're going to be going. I'm going to go meditate now. If you guys don't meditate, I recommend meditating. If you have questions about meditating, go ahead and DM me. I'd be happy to make you a custom meditation to get you started. And yeah, Howie, thank you very much for asking those questions. That was a very, nuanced question. And hopefully I didn't trigger anyone with my response, but I really do feel that knowledge without action is wasted knowledge. You really have to do something. And my boy Wes, thank you. Hopefully, I drove there 3 times in the last, or 2 times in the last 3 days. So I know the drive is totally possible. It's totally doable. And, you know, I got to keep doing my jujitsu here. But yeah, you know, it's been a trip to see how fast this process has been. But I do think that more of us need to begin trusting the somatic wisdom that our body gives us. You know, you could call it somatic wisdom, you could call it intuition, you could call it a gut feeling, but there's this thing about the mind that I realize is so powerful. Your mind can use rationality and logic to talk you out of any of the things that you want to do. And what I realized, that I could just speak for myself in my life, is that I want my life ruled by doing the things that I want to do more of. And I believe that I could still be 100% responsible, but do more of the things that I want to do. You know, so yeah. All right, guys, I am out. You guys have a wonderful, what day is it? Wednesday, wonderful Wednesday. I'm going to get my meditation on. And as I said, if anyone wants to learn how to meditate, how to go into the quantum field, how to manifest the future like I do, go ahead, hit me up, send me a DM, Seibo at Seibo Knows, and I would be happy to help you out. And yeah, if you ever want to come visit me up in the Sacramento area, well, shit, we still need to get our offer approved, so there are still things standing in the way. I'm talking here as if the future has already been written, but this is why I'm gonna go meditate. You know, make sure all the timelines match up, just like Doctor Strange did talk about, you know, in Avengers Endgame. You know, there's gonna be like 14 million possibilities, but only one, the Avengers, win. So I want to stack the odds in my favor in the opposite way. We get every single advantage, and it's going to be the 1 in the 14 million where we don't get it. All right. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I am Seibo, and I am out.